Okay, so Dr. Sonal Purohit, you're a celebrity lifestyle coach. You're a managing director of Sattva Lifestyle Management. You're also an MBA finance and a PhD. You're the alumni of IIM Kolkata and a certified health coach. You worked in the capacity of HOD in a premium MBA college of Pune. You started your own company since the last 5 years. Your company is ISO certified and MSME registered. You've been featured in the best of the magazines, lifestyle magazines on Women's Day and even otherwise. You've been interviewed in various national news channels and currently health coach of the Pune Police. To add to that, you're also a coach of various pageants such as Miss India, Mrs. India, Mrs. Maharashtra, Mr. Maharashtra, etc. You're passionate about your work. On your interest wise, you love traveling and you're an avid reader. That's a lot of things, Dr. Suno. How do you get time for so much?
The passion has always now become mainstream, like
Yeah,
I used to love teaching, but then got into this industry because of the passion. It's all about passion driven, nothing else.
very true.
So if you love something, we get time. We make a time to do that.
Wonderful, wonderful. So, why don't we start with a little bit about you and why don't you tell us a little bit about your career journey? So, I covered very little, but I'm sure there's a lot of more interesting things that you can tell us how it all worked out for you.
See, I mean, being you can say management grad, we always believe in plan B. We
Yeah.
always believe in Kaizen theory, zero error. But in reality, it has never worked, Divya. For me, it has never worked because when I left my mainstream job, I was not having any sorts of plan B because I was into health and fitness for my own journey. I wanted to evolve myself as a person. What Sonal is sitting here, my many of my viewers must be knowing what I was 6, 7 years back and what I am now. It's like a 180-degree, transformation. Because I have also undergone with a lot of health issues. And then I was 108 of my weight. And then I started working very vigorously on my health. In that process, I realized that the people in our nation, हम भारतीय जनता को बस एक ही चीज की जरूरत है वो है एक मोटिवेशन और एक अच्छा हेल्थ and we have to help them out because everybody is not very much aware what should be taken as a good taken care of a good health or what sort of you can say implementation need to be done on their own health. So I started doing a lot of research. I started studying a lot. I started getting myself more, you can say, acquainted and more, you can say, able with the functional nutrition and dietic. So then I started understanding that the main thing is that people in our country need to understand the importance of food. They need to understand that food is the medicine, and that I took it as a you can say goal of my organization. I took it as a you can say motto of my organization that being a lifestyle coach, I should cater the needs of the people with good food, with good exercise, scientific exercise. And the third aspect is mental conditioning. So then I developed with my team, I developed 180-degree program and what we call it as a lifestyle program. So if anybody wants to join a program of a lifestyle, and if they have some medical issue, we always consider food as a medicine. Food is something which will be covering your root cause, which will be catering through your root cause. So that became an objective. Now, on the contrary, it's a very tough journey for us because people nowadays believe in shortcuts. People nowadays believe in artificial products, and we don't endorse any sorts of artificial products, pills, powders, anything out here. So it's a purely 180-degree program where we cater physical, emotional, and mental well-being. So this has been our journey, and my company Sattva is doing quite well into that.
Wonderful. Before we get into specifics like food and how you mentioned, food is like a medicine, are there some trends that we need to be a little aware of in the whole healthcare industry? And especially, stuff like myths and truths, or realities, and especially those that are for women. Are there things that we
Hmm.
need to, because there's just so much written. It's a bit like COVID, right? Nobody really sometimes knows what the real picture is. There's just every
Hmm.
day new is coming up, and eat this and don't eat that. And so what is your view when when you got into this industry? How did you plan to tackle especially the myths and the things around healthcare?
I have experimented, researched many things on me, and what I came across is that please let us make things very simple. What we try to do is that we make things very complicated. In this health process, also, our biological clock, our body mechanism is very smart enough to understand what we are doing. Anything in excess is always bad. Like if we are feeding our body with the excess of calorie food, what it is going to give us in return? It's going to give us in return all sorts of lifestyle disorders. It's going to give us good amount of, you can say, belly fat and many more things. So I especially started emphasizing on one aspect that in health industry, which is very much missing, is being local. People start finding it out, all fancy packed foods, fancy items, that which should product should have a low fat, which product should have high in protein. They don't understand their own body mechanism. I mean, they don't understand what their body needs it. I mean, very small example I would like to share in this platform of Shane Warne. He was 14 days, he was in just a water diet. Does it body did not even permit it, and it was what finally it comes out, it came out in the form of a cardiac arrest. So same thing is happening with many of the people. It is a trend that eat protein, eat, get into ketogenic, get into extreme diet. I seriously don't understand, why do we need to follow these trends? Do we understand our body first? So first we need to map our own body. First, we need to scan up our own requirement, and then we need to plan up things over here. And simple, our company's policy, philosophy, objective is very simple. We are very much vocal on local, and everything is being catered through our Indian kitchen. This I have been telling in mostly in all my interviews, that whatever food is there in our Indian kitchen, it is going to, cater your body. It's just that you need to keep a faith. And it has been proved scientifically, it has been proved that one-fourth of our, you can say, lifestyle disorder gets very well catered only by our mental conditioning, how we are resonating with our own thoughts, how we are, understanding our own self. In fact, my clients have given a remarkable results, especially thyroid, PCOS. When they come to us, they say, I'm being taking so much of hormone medicines. I mean, my weight is increasing. This is happening, that is happening. I have always told them, let's take a simple food which is required for your, disorder, and by resonating with your own thought, with your mental conditioning, in 3 months we get a very sustainable results. So the trend is more, you can say, aspired by celebs. The trend is more aspired by the stardom, but they don't understand what pressure they are undergoing and what pressure we as a common citizen we are undergoing to it. So we need to understand our own body first.
Yeah, very true, very true. So now coming, into the topic of food, and
Hmm.
you mentioned that it's almost like a medicine, and we can treat it that way.
Yeah.
Kitchen is our
Hmm.
sort of our place
Hmm.
to go. And also, you mentioned that there are a lot of diets that are not necessarily sustainable or healthy. So can you
Hmm.
tell us more about your point of view on food and diets, and what do you feel about it?
It has become very much contradictory with the many people when I claim it out that food is a medicine. Now there are so many aspects in our body. Like if we talk about our detox system, what is a detox system? Our liver does it, our kidney does it, to an extent our skin does it every 30 days. If we talk about communication system of a body, who does it? Hormonal system. If we talk about the transportation system of a body, who does it? It is being does by the digestive system. And if we talk about our neurochemicals, our brain, who does it? Our brain does it. So don't you think to make it all balanced, we need a good food, a correct food, and a tailor-made food which is required for a body? So this is I have always been very vocal, and I have been always been defensive on this point, that if I want my hormonal to be balanced, if I want my digestive system to be balanced, my gut to be balanced, the food is the first thing which has to be considered as a medicine. Now, if I'm coming on the second aspect, for example, if a person who is having who is a diabetic, who's having PCOS, mostly females are having PCOS, PCOD. If the people are too overweight, what doctor says? The doctor first says get into a fiber food, get into an anti-inflammatory food, get into the food which is cruciferous. Vegetables are need to be taken up. And yes, over here also we also say the same thing, that you need to curtail on the processed food. You need to fix upon the food which is ultra processed, which is overly packed, and all the all the advertisement gimmicks are written onto it, that extra organic and super herbal, and at the end you will see that they have got huge expiry dates, they have got huge shelf life. I mean, I don't endorse such things. I believe that simple food can really work into miraculous level. For example, for me, one client had come. She had thyroid, she had all migraine, and her system was haywire. And she said that, Sonal, I'm not overweight, but I want my system to be into a proper shape. My system should work properly. I introduced simple things enough. Flax seeds were introduced, pomegranates were introduced, pears were introduced, simple, basic foods were introduced, which she was not even taking. She was into an ultimately into a different diet. She said, my God, I mean, I thought that my destiny is bad, but then I'm realizing my dinner is bad. So,
I like that.
yeah, of course. So people start, cursing on their destiny. They don't look into their dinner plate. So first of all, I mean, the every problem starts with your dinner plate. I mean, dinner is what? Dinner is the last meal which stays and survives in our gut. So if our gut is strong, our transportation system is strong, or you can say our detoxification system becomes strong, then we are curtailing a lot of, you can say, diseases. We are keeping a lot of diseases at a bay, and we are looking towards into a healthy lifestyle. And I always incorporate a lot of colorful foods and fruits. I've been very much vocal in this particular platform also. Maximum so many ladies are added, and I see them that include as many colors, make the food as rainbow, what we teach to kids. I mean,
Hmm.
if we look into the books of their kindergarten or class one, have a lot of colors. Why a lot of colors? They have a lot of, you can say, phytonutrients. And when the phytonutrients are there, each color will start showing magnificently on our compounds of our body. They'll start giving all the benefits to the different compounds of our body. And each and every molecule of our body will start blessing when we are having so many colorful food and fruits in our diet. So that's why I always advocating that food is a medicine.
Yeah, very well said. Very, very well said. Um, I think we're pretty much we've sort of covered I think almost everything. But I would like to sort of part with some advice that you can offer women, which is just easy to follow and
Mm-hmm.
easy to use. Because see, what happens is when you complicate something, is when then people start having doubts. So what's the top two or three things that women can do to look after themselves in their health? Which you find that they are, as we say in our corporate language, the low hanging fruit, right? You can
Yeah.
get to them easier and you can accomplish them faster. So what would be
Yeah.
your advice to all the women on our platform?
See, first of all, before coming to the food, I always emphasizes that we need to have happy thoughts, which is being missed, because in this Zitmita's life, the people are running, especially women are juggling between their household and with their office, with their other priorities, with their kids. So they don't even balance up what they're thinking. So my first, you can say, the first priority comes that please develop a good relationship with their own self. When you start developing a good relationship with their own self, you will be able to develop a good parenting skill. You will be able to develop a good interpersonal relationship. And then, the second aspect comes definitely on the food part. But the first aspect is always have a self-love. We miss that. As a woman, we miss that because whenever we talk to any of the women, I mean, even you must be juggling that how the things are going on. अरे बहुत काम रहता है, calls रहते हैं. I mean, I have to take care of my son. I have to take him to the tuition, or I have to take him to the this class, and then I have to attend the call. I have to take care of the kitchen. But as a person, I understand. As a coach, I understand. And there is no substitute of this. Some duties need to be discharged, need to be demonstrated. As a female, we have to do it. But then in this journey, just 10-15 minutes to your own self, to your own thought is very important. Many of the women have been complaining that they are being continuously surrounded by the negative thoughts. So why negative thought comes? Negative thoughts usually comes when we are not having a correct food. Now over here, the food becomes a medicine, and it is being already experimented. It has been already, you can say, demonstrated by our patient clients. When they started having a lot of good food, their depressive features have gone down, their angers have gone down, their, you can say, panicies have gone down when they started taking the food which was designed for them, especially like omega, flax seeds, especially your seeds which have got high quality of magnesium. These foods have started playing good role, and you have to give time to these things, at least 3 to 4 months, 6 months. Sustainable time has to be given for it. So when it becomes a two-way communication then, because what you are putting inside your body, you're reflecting it out. And reflection do not only comes with your skin. I mean, the females are more conscious for their skin, for their look. I
External.
believe that, yes, I mean, external is okay, but your internal strength is more important. Your internal nourishment is more important. And especially when whatever sort of food which is made of more of cruciferous food, or it is made up of, you can say, whole grain food, when we start taking, so it will automatically reflect our skin also. It will start reflecting our gut also. Our gut system also becomes better and more clearer. And when our gut becomes clearer, the direct signal comes to our thinking capability. Our thinking capability becomes more clearer, it becomes more sharper, and we start keeping at bay all your angers and, you can say, depressive thoughts, more of a panicky thoughts. So we become more calmer. So this has got two-way communication. So of course, the first is mental nourishment is important. And a very handy tip I would like to share in this particular, you can say, platform is like, our whenever the negative thought nudges, especially all the female, whenever it is like negative thought is triggering or popping, so just nudge your thoughts into a positive aspect. Just try it out. I mean, after 21 days, my profile is over here. Everybody knows me. Please try it out. Take it as a challenge, because whenever I come for an interview, I always give a practical challenge to all my viewers. Just try for 21 days. It's a very simple mantra. Whenever the point one, whenever the thoughts are being, bottlenecked with all negative thoughts, just nudge it, shift it to a positive thought. And brain understand that, because brain understand all the chemical reactions. So negative thought, chemical reaction is negative. Positive thoughts, positivity, definitely the reaction is positive. Second aspect, still if you're not able to cope up, you're not able to cope up with your thoughts, and still you're stuck up into your negativity, just write down. When you start journaling, 70% you will be feeling that these problems are not existing. And it is well researched. It has been researched by Harvard. It has been researched by all the, you can say, big nutritional consultancy firms also. And we ourselves, we have observed 70% problem won't exist. There is a 30% problem. You yourself will answer with a solution. So these two things are a very strong, you can say, weapon for females. And I mean, I'm not being over here gender biased. It can be applicable to males also. Even they can do that if they're bottlenecked, or if they are like constantly into net of their thoughts. They can strongly, these two tools they can use it. Third thing is that when we are strongly using these two tools, the 1/4 of our healing is already done by our brain. So when our brain starts get healed, our body also starts getting healed. When our body is not healing, then only, when our brain is not healing, then only we get all sorts of lifestyle disorder, which includes cancer also.
Yeah.
So this is a very strong advice I would like to give to all the female. The number fourth advice is that please do not hesitate doing exercise. Go and lift. Lift. If you don't go to gym, not an issue. Lift at home. Pick up something. Give yourself that 20-30 minutes to yourself. Lift yourself, do little yoga, pranayam, or do at least 3 times in a week. Do a little bit of weight training that will give a miraculous result, that will start giving you, serotonin, all your oxytocin, all your happy hormones will start triggering. You'll start feeling very fresh with your own self, and you'll start be able to cope up. That coping mechanism will develop much better. So I'll be advising that. The last aspect comes, yes, definitely food. Don't ignore the food, because if you're fine, अगर कहते हैं कि घर की स्त्री स्वस्थ है तो पूरा घर स्वस्थ रहता है. If you are fine, then only you will be able to keep your surroundings fine. So that is fifth aspect is food.
Thank you so much. So much to learn, and there is just so much to practice more than the. I think the learning is all there, but I think we need professionals like you to constantly remind us and coach us into a life that we should all be leading, ideally, and it really requires very little. More the more it has to come from inside, but once it's all there, then there is very little to be done. Change it from to 21 days of positive thoughts and good food, and I think it also comes from a certain amount of self confidence, all of it. But
Yes, and one thing I would like to add in this,
yeah,
do not get into any sorts of artificial
yeah,
products. Please. I mean, don't fix it up very quick. I mean, sooner you're fixing it up, you're messing it up more. The more you're taking a consistent time, your discipline activity will be involved, your mental process will be involved, So if we start taking all the artificial, already we are into toxicity. We are seeing how our mother universe is getting, तो हम भारतीय जनता को इस चीज की अवेयरनेस होनी चाहिए कि हम जिस प्रकृति में रहते हैं वो भगवान की बहुत सुंदर देन है. It's a beautiful gift of God. I mean, we need to develop that wisdom, because that same wisdom we are passing to a new generation also. And the last aspect over here is that whatever food we are eating, like I missed out that point, and I want to give the awareness. We are not eating for only ourselves. It is going to be a future evolution as well. I mean, how can we miss that point? So if I'm taking care of myself, then I'm taking care of my kid. I'm actually taking, more of the future evolution of the health system of our country, इस देश का हमें ये जो thought लाना ही पड़ेगा, because all the kids, all the youngsters, they are the future of a nation.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Thank you, Shivani. Lovely thoughts that you've put in there. And yes, thank you, Dr. Purohit. It was a very, very, very enlightening session, and a very perfect ending to our 3 months of speak. And we've had a lot of people, inspiring women like you, who've come on board and spoken. Coincidentally, on Women's Day, it's also the last session that we are having, which is of calling people. And now, we want you to be able to have your own conversations on our app and inspire other women as well. So, I mean, feel free to have your own conversations, and I'll encourage women to reach out to you if they have any health concerns, and they want to lead a better life. So we will do that at our end. But thank you so much for coming over on our platform today.
Jai Hind and Jai Maharashtra.
Thank you. Thank you.